this is one of the advantages that Nxpe had throughout the whole season, because it always changed. And then now, yeah, they come to playoffs in a matchup that really matters here, and this is kind of what happens.
Yeah, spot on as we enter the first banning phase of the second game. As you said, Renmar, they're going to take away the Karina, they're going to take away the Akai, and now Onic Philippines are down to their last ban in the first banning phase.
I'm actually surprised they took out the Akai instead. I thought they'd pick up the ban on the Valentina. Onic, I wouldn't be mad if they, and I know Nxpe would be mad at this, ban on the Valentina, but Onic will first pick the 1-1.
Ooh, 1-1. Why do you hate the 1-1 so much?
Look,
5-1-5 skin looks amazing.
Yeah, or I mean, I just don't like it in tournaments. I think 1-1 is amazing as a hero, but like in, in your ranked games and whatnot. But honestly, I feel like mostly in the competitive scene, from what we've seen,
users.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it relies on a lot of conditions to be able to pop off properly. Yes, we saw it in the earlier series. We've seen it throughout the regular season, but most times I feel like it just kind of struggles, or it takes a lot away from the other sides of the team. So that's just my own personal opinion, right? And I stick by it.
If I'm an Nxpe, consider taking out something like the Esmeralda. I wouldn't consider taking out the Lilia here.
Ooh,
there we
as
go.
you said, the Esmeralda taken out here by Nxpe. Now Onic Philippines, you told us 1-1 could be the priority pick here for Onic Philippines. Let's see if they're gonna give it to Marky, because I feel like Marky does have some.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
What did I say?
What did I say? Like your draft, you're predicting the draft already. What could we expect from Nxpe?
They can go multiple routes here. They can honestly pick up something like the Joe and the Eve if they want to. I still want to see them prioritize the Eve. However, Yelly Hayes, if he's feeling it, bro, he can honestly go Savior. But
Yeah.
you're just gonna need a lot more slows, a lot more control to deal with the 1-1. They're gonna need to burst it down quick.
So if it's anybody out there that can make me basically put my foot in my mouth here, it would be Marky, right, on the 1-1. But because I said the same thing about Xavier before, right? I didn't like Xavier at first, but then slowly but surely, seeing how teams adjusted to that Xavier pick, it actually ended up working out really well. But Nxpe is going to go ahead and take the Franco and that Eve.
Man, the Franco and the Eve, Renmar, you did mention the Eve. Nxpe very effective on the usage of that real-world manipulation, especially on the hands of Yelly Hayes. But Cadenza, once again, landing his hands on this Franco.
Yeah, Onic Page has to pick up a Lilia here for Hatred. That will really allow them to control it. Or they can actually go for a tanky jungler. But if they want to play an even saver, go for the Lilia. However, they'll need to match range for range. So they might even consider picking up something like the Farsa. But no, they pick up the Savior instead.
Game-changing ultimates once we enter the late game. We know the Savior could potentially burst down targets from all over the map. We've seen that in Series 1.
They can steal.
And steal objectives as well, but I feel like we've seen that very rarely, if you like. But earlier, the Savior was popping targets left or right, and this time around, Onic Philippines will be using it. Nxpe, with their down to their last pick in the first base.
Actually, think about it. Okay, so yes, despite my opinions about the heroes, right, it's actually really good synergy, because 1-1 can use the crossbow tank to get tons of targets low, and if they're on point with the dawning lights, that's just like easy snipes.
Easy snipes and also easy resets for the 1-1.
Yeah.
Big reaction there, Renmar. The Phobius being picked up here by Nxpe.
Yeah, even the Phobius, something that slipped my mind there, and this is going to be a bit more difficult for Onic PH to pull off their 1-1 centric lineup. So when it gets to the objective fights, once the ultimates are up, second and third turtles, I would honestly rather see Marky just focusing on the lane. But now my question is this actually going to be a Phobius that's going to go into the XP lane? Because this Phobius can go gold lane here and just straight up give Marky a difficult time.
And speaking of giving Marky a difficult time, 1-1 extremely susceptible to ganks, even if you do have your second skill, that pre-purify, because of your sheer base stats that's quite low in terms of HP. Now, in terms of last bans, Nxpe surprisingly taking out that Atlas and Angela. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the Atlas would have gone really well for the lineup of Onic, considering they're up against even then at the same time with the Franco, the Fulvius, and if there are going to be any other frontliners for Nxpe going in, it's just a great deterrent. Onic, I also love the Popol and Koopa band that they decided to dish out. Popol, Koopa, Eve, and Franco together alongside the Fulvius means you'll never reach that Popol and Koopa. So Donut here might end up picking up something like typical marksman picks of the Brody and the Clint, but then again, what if his focus goes gold lane? Because now that we see a Lancelot, there's still room for flexibility here. NXPE could honestly go double fighter and then just end this game quick. It will be up to Onic PAs to draft well enough so that NXPE will get turned off from the double fighter idea of a lineup here. This pickup for Onic, honestly, I'd want to see a Yuzhong. Oh no, it's a Uranus instead. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and the Uranus is somewhat of a signature pickup for Delarski here, something that he was called a general for in the M3. We called him the general, the CEO, a man of many names, and we're gonna see that Grok to finish off the Onic Philippines lineup. A lot of Brusco boys or tanky boys on the side of Onic. What will NXPE do?
I mean, these are definitely the beefy boys on Onic Philippines, right? And they actually have enough damage. If you think about it, the 1-1 later on will have the damage, but then they have, they have Xavier there, right? And they also have that kind of built-in passive coming out from this Boxer pick to kind of deal with some of the sustain coming out from Nxpe Evos. But they're actually going to round it out here with a Claude pick on Donut.
Quite interesting pick to see, Renmar. Can we get some insight on this Claude?
Well, because you are going to be going up against a Savior, and if you look at the lineup of Onic PH, yeah, they can initiate, but this honestly looks better for them being the ones to go for the counter initiation this time around, wherein wait for NXP to expend most of their abilities. Yes, he'll maybe take the initial burst, but then go for the counter. As long as the 1-1, the Savior, can stay alive, they'll be able to go for the counter initiate. Having a Claude on the opposing side now means that that's gonna be even tougher to pull off, because now you're gonna have to watch out for the entry of a Claude, wherein as long as he can get his 2 items, farm okay, one blazing duet to the back line will just decimate Onic.
Yeah. And as we load on to the land of Dawn, looking at the heroes here, both marksmen are item dependent. Naisu, around what time can we expect this match to just blow up?
Well, I feel like, again, with Franco being here on the side of Nxpe Evos, it's gonna they're gonna be the ones to set the pace again. That's what I'm expecting. But again, around the first turtle I feel like we're already gonna start to see the game kind of get to that point of blowing up.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to game number 2 here for everybody watching NXPE versus Onic. NXPE already securing game number 1. Cadenza on a spectacular performance on that Franco, trying to repeat in game number 2.
Yeah, man, and going back to just blowing up here, number 1, when Delarski is on a Uranus, usually, I don't know, it's a little bit slower, right, for Onic Philippines, but I don't think they can actually play like the way that they kind of do that. They have to actually match what Nxpe Evos does. And from what we know, Nxpe Evos is pretty aggressive, and they like to set the pace of things. I mean, that's why they've come this far, throughout this season, and they've improved so much. So we'll have to see how Onic Philippines responds right now. And he's got to be careful.
But Loiski is just fishing for information here. MP the King, both junglers actually still yet to face each other. And here comes the Delarski move of the day, the German cut, going deep into that lane.
Loiski, be careful. They go in for the purple here. Kyrie.
Still secured by MP the King, though.
Yeah.
And that's really good for the side of NXPE. The invade was quite effective for Onic Philippines. Did pull off some damage on NXPE, but NXPE is still able to secure their own objectives. Cadenza trying to make a play here in mid lane.
Yeah, first Lord fight will decide it, or that's going to be when we're going to be seeing a first big first big encounter of this matchup. Now, Onic and NXP, they both just need to be careful that since the Baksha and the Lancelot are both very strong
Yeah.
hitting objectives. Although, again, it's a Lancelot, he'll still have a slight edge over anyone that he's going to be going up against in terms of taking objectives. Onic PH will just have to be wary. Just look to secure the objective. If you can't, get out of there.
Wow.
Oh, MP the King going significantly low.
Yeah, but he's actually going to secure the turtle here. But now the read spawns, comes out. Finally, the first blood's going to be taken by Kyrie. Another falls here. 1-for-1 trade so far. Reshi gets slowed down quite a bit here. Demonic Force going to be popped.
It's a
Now he
3v1.
can actually take this out. Oh, here comes the dawning light. Goodbye, Yureshi.
2 kills for Onic Philippines, but Nxpe, they do take 1 plus the turtle. Almost an even trade here. Onic Philippines picking up a little bit of a gold lead. Marky still having a fun time farming against the Claude, and looking at that matchup, the Claude does have a slight disadvantage in terms of range, but 1-1 still was the first one to go home.
I think Donut is positioning more aggressively, taking a more advanced position so that he can get the initial burst over the 1-1 to make sure Marky is staying in lane staying in lane more. Now Donut here, look how annoying just Voloisky is right now. That Claude is not going to be in the map for a while, but I don't think Onic PH will have an opening to go for a play, except it's Nxpe now going for the invade on the purple buff of Kyrie, which Kyrie just got.
Yeah, Kyrie a little bit too fast there for Nxpe to just steal away objectives from. As you said, Voloisky's just really annoying in this game. With this proc, the damage is still very much respectable, and you need to respect it when you're up against the wall.
Dude, he doesn't even have like any items, right? He's got a little bit of health, he's got the roam, but he's actually able to pump out quite a bit of damage again because the wild charge, the way that it works. And not only that, but the threat of having that long of a stun is just a lot to deal with here for Nxpe.
Yep, a lot to deal with and a lot to think about if you're the Claude, if you're Donut. You don't want to enter too early that the wild charge would land, but you don't want to enter too late that this might happen.
Cadenza once again locking down. Voloisky gonna get taken out of the picture once again here. He's got those 2 deaths, but again, Cadenza just starting things. Again, this is what I was talking about, the pace. Now, Delarski, the general himself, trying to hold off next play Evos. They don't want to give away the turtle just yet. Dawning Light gonna come out. Nothing connects here just yet. Kyrie also just around the corner. Gonna be a battle for the retribution. Gonna be secured here by Kyrie. And now the response comes out. MP the King goes down. Now Yureshi popping the demonic force. Will he be able to actually sustain this? Oh, the wild charge comes out from Voloisky.
Man, the general showing MP the King what he is made of, flickering in with his abilities, just bursting down that Lancelot. Of course, Kyrie securing that turtle as well with a well-timed retribution.
All the members of Onic PH dish out a lot of slows. A key item pick up here is actually, but Delarski not going for the enchanted talisman first. He went for the dominance ice first. Hence why Kyrie and Delarski together are a force to be reckoned with. Whoever Nxpe tosses at them, you'll just be slowed. You're just going to be eating up damage, and those two can take a lot of it.
That's going to take a minute before the next big objective spawns. I feel like they're just going to clear out their jungle areas and potentially even make a play. What can we expect from here? Because we're already 6 minutes in. It's going to be a Lord, or I think still a Turtle next time around. I feel like Nxpe, they don't have the firepower in the gold lane to go all in with this Claude just yet. But wait a minute, let's go back to that gold lane where the Grok actually dies.
Oh, they try to go for it. Hatred. Oh, Donut really low, but Donut able to survive. Let's look at the items right now. Guardian Helmet was the first item pick up here for Kyrie, so that's gonna help with the tankiness. And Kyrie and Delarski will just even be more of a fearsome combo. Voloisky, 3 deaths. I'd want to see him reduce that just a little bit. Don't get your next death sooner, please. He needs to stay alive a little bit longer here for the lineup of Onic to work. However, they do have Kyrie and Delarski with them. Marky, deathless. The Donut, deathless, and with a kill, and with avarice. It's going to get to the point eventually where it's just going to be down to the 2 marksmen. Who can play better? Who can deal the damage much better? With Delarski pushing top lane, Nxpe forces the rotate top side, which opens up a turtle for Onic PH. That's going to be a free one for them.
Yeah, free turtle. Kyrie going to take that out really quickly. And as you mentioned, Renmark, I mean, Mark is able to just but oh, the combo Evo comes out and takes Yelly Hayes out of the picture here. What a deadly combination of ultimates coming out from Onic Philippines. And yeah, Marky is just able to go ahead and farm safely so far.
Extremely lethal coming in from Onic Philippines. If the stuns land, you better say your prayers. MP the King will be just dashing safely away. Delarski popping that ultimate will be able to defend his own lane. The Lord will be spawning 80 seconds from now, but so far Onic Philippines still holding on to that 2K lead.
Top lane under the second tower. Cadenza almost. Oh, Beloisky a little bit too greedy there, brother. Oh,
Donut.
hatred.
Should be okay.
Good call by Donut to not push forward.
Man, if he pushed forward, that Xavier was waiting for him just to give him a taste of that laser. But checking out everything right now, it's a 2K gold lead for Onic Philippines. Beloisky still 0-3-3. But as you said, Naisu, Marky is still 0-0-0.
Yeah, I think as a 1-1, this is the best situation you can be in. Just go ahead and, as Redmar mentioned, farm up for the most part of the game. You need those items, just like with Claude. But I feel like a lot of times, again, your ultimate relies on you hitting certain kind of very hitting weakness points, right? That's what it relies on. Whereas on the other side, Claude just presses a button, blazing duet,
Spins around.
yeah, and then goes back, right? So Marky's definitely got to be careful here. But now we have all these members of both teams here at the top. It's going to be locked down. Beloisky's going to be in trouble. Pops the wild card, but he's getting takes out of the picture. Here comes the dawning light. Killing spree for Kyrie, though. Now, Nxpe Evo's got to be careful here. The suppression comes down, but Ireshi finally gets taken down.
The damage coming in from NXPE's entire kit is extremely, let's just say, lethal against even a tank such as Beloisky. 0-4-4 already. But then again, Onic Philippines, they do have the tools to counter and engage. They might just go for fights even if they lost already one member. And going to that Lord area, Baksha already starting his Lord.
Yeah, here comes the conceal play. Cadenza goes in with a flicker and the suppress. Here comes the answer back. The real one really coming down. Beloisky trying to get this kill on Cadenza. The Lord is taken, though, by Kyrie. Dawning Light not going to find a connection here, but the initiation once again from Nxpe Evos, blazing a duet. But look at the stun. This is what we're talking about with Xavier. That CC is just very, very valuable.
Yep, crowd control coming in from Xavier, the damage as well. But let's talk about the insane play that Cadenza did, flickering right in the face of Marky to delay the take of Onic Philippines. But then again, the retribution battle has been consistently won here by Kyrie. Renmar, does Kyrie play differently compared to game one? Wait!
Oh, the lockdown once again. Oh, the damage coming out from the laser beam. And they find another one. One does fall for Onic Philippines, but two fall for Nxpe Evos. Ireshi's in trouble here. Crossbow of Tang finds one. And now they're pushing back Nxpe Evos as they lost members here. Marky now finding his moment.
Oh, that's like two lasers in one fight. We've reached that point where the Savior's just aggressive. Like that, Delarski almost finding a kill inside the base of NXPE. But looking at the map, Onic Philippines have not went down by 2K. They've only risen their gold lead by 4,000. They're still pushing this lead.
Oh, another connection. There's the blazing duet. Can they find something? Dying Light again, finding his target. Donut is taken out of the picture. It's one down for Nxpe Evos. Onic Philippines finding another turret here. Marky able to avoid that hook, and now Onic Philippines in the driver's seat.
Oh my goodness, the lineup of Onic are just so tanky. They're just eating everything right now, and they're just like, okay, Hatred, deal the damage, and he's doing that. All right, Marky, try to stay alive as much as you can, and he's doing that. What Onic has to watch out for here, though, is who else in NXP picked up a Winter Truncheon. Ureshi has a Winter Truncheon on him. Onic, what could happen is, let's say, Ureshi goes in, and then Ureshi just eats up all the damage, activates the crossbow of Tang, and makes Marky think, like, okay, I'll use the crossbow crossbow type of hit. But using a Winter Truncheon can waste that, meaning Nxpe has a chance to turn the fight around because the high damage dealing ability of Onic was just wasted on a target that is suppressed by its own Winter Truncheon. If I'm Nxpe, I'd pick up another one of those items right now.
Another one.
Another Winter Truncheon.
Winter Truncheon, another one. It's always great if you're up against a 1-1, you're gonna take another one. That's like a 1-1. But yeah, moving on. The Lord will be spawning 15 seconds from now. NXPE does still have a fighting chance against Onic Philippines, but this Savior from Hatred definitely trying to score that MVP if they secure this game. I wonder what the damage dealt is sheerly just by that ultimate, that dawning light.
Dude, that is literally an upgraded laser beam at this point. Now it looks like Onic Philippines going to go ahead and start up with this Lord here. Cadenza, always trying to get the information he needs. He does have everything he needs. Beloyski also trying to be the gatekeeper here. Now, next play, he also is going to get wild charged on. Plus the dawning light, but there's going to be the reset from Lord. Right now, they've got no choice but to back off here. Nice little reset out. Next play, Evo still trying to get the vision that they need. Yelly Haze could be looking for a setup here
Half
too.
HP on Lord.
Let's see how they actually play this out. Here comes the real world manipulation. Beloyski could be in trouble when he gets taken out. Marky, goodbye. The dawning light as well.
If he survives.
Duet's going to be popped. Lord has not reset just yet. Who's going to be taking this one? There's the CC, and it's going to be taken by Kyrie with the retribution. Now Hatred's got to get out of there. They have to survive. It's going to be another kill. Beloyski finds that one. Yureshi's in trouble. Mega kill. The dawning light. Another one, he says. Yureshi, it's only a matter of time before he goes down too.
Romy, you asked me earlier, what is Kyrie doing different in this game? Well, honestly, he's just winning the retribution battles. Because if NXP won that, this would be a different story. But Onic PH, Kyrie, retribution after retribution, telling NXP, you want control, you're gonna have to pry it from my cold dead hands.
And red regards it is for Kyrie. The retribution battle has been the main pen of writing the story for Onic Philippines. Just securing those major objectives gave Onic Philippines the gold lead that they really want to have in this game number 2. And entering game number 2, this is something that Onic Philippines want to win because you don't want to be in a 2-0 situation in this best of 5. But we are entering a short pause here. We are about to enter the late game. If not, we are already in the late game. I just want to say, like, this is quite surprising considering that we are seeing the same heroes from NXPE, but very different results.
Yeah, I mean, I think Renmar pretty much summed it up, man. Like, Kyrie has he's doing a lot better for the team because it's just retribution battles, right? If you notice, there's still a lot of threat actually coming out from Nxpe Evos. I mean, with their team composition, the worry about getting hooked or whichever, but what's happening here is just the execution factor coming out, starting from Kyrie, and then the follow-up from the rest of the team. I mean, the combination that we even mentioned with Xavier and Wanwan, like, it actually works out really well.
Yeah, and what's working out really well is that Beloyski and Hatred together found their stride. Beloyski gets the wild charge, Hatred is ready. And Hatred, you've got to put a lot of respect on this man's name, how he's playing this game. He's positioning incredibly well. I actually thought in that last engagement he wouldn't be able to get away, but somehow he got away, he survived with like 15% health, he still got to immobilize, and he still got to deal damage in the end there. Hatred is also playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And man, the sprint is definitely something that is quite amazing as a battle spell in this meta. But Onic Philippines right now trying to close this out. Bot lane turret is the first objective to take here. Donut does have a pathway out. Guardian's Barrier already secured there. And MP the King gonna try to take down this Lord as fast as possible. Mid lane about to call as well.
Base is gonna be cracked open here for Nxpe Evos. They lose 2 turrets. It's gonna be a wild charge plus the dawning light. But there is the lockdown coming out from Cadenza. Was it a mistake or can he get taken out of here? Has to flicker out. It's going to be the wall blocking him off here. And now the disengage, but the demonic force from Yureshi. He's going to get caught out here a little bit. The crossbow of Tang still going for him. Filing and taken down, but was it worth it?
Oh no, Yalace gets tagged with dawning light.
Cadenza trying to help him out. Delarski, could he get locked down here? As still chasing for Yeliaze. Has to back off here. Wow.
Super aggressive play coming in from Oreshi, but I feel like that was worth it for Nxpe. They did take down the gold laner of Onic Philippines, and in fact, one of the physical damage dealer in terms of range that could push down their turrets as well. So Nxpe really willing to take that trade, but the gold lead isn't going anywhere, and Onic Philippines still ahead by 7.
Oh, looking at the instant replay, Marky just surviving by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
The Demonic Force was still activated. Marky did not get to pick up the Cyclone Eye. That's why I was wondering. I was like, where's the Cyclone Eye dash? But he just was not able to pick it up. He was right at the edge of it. If he had that Cyclone Eye, that last Demonic Force would have missed.
Yep. Kite so good, you missed the demonic eye.
The Cyclone Eye.
Kite so hard, missed the Cyclone Eye. You know, sometimes it really does happen, especially in high pressure situations such as that one. But 20 seconds from now, that's going to be the third Lord of the game. And Onic Philippines have been winning the Retribution battle, and one Retribution, specifically on this high-level Lord, could change it for NXPE.
I love that activation here of Kyrie. Blade Armor, Radiant Armor, and Twilight Armor. That's why he's able to take in so much punishment from the lineup of NXP. And at the same time,
Oh no! Initiation coming out from next play. Evos. There's gonna be the wild charge. The combo, the dawning light. Not able to find anything yet. Cadenza gonna get taken out of here. Mega kill going for the general. Reshi now in trouble as but the return damage.
They're turning it
Next play,
around.
Evos trying to turn it around, but a double kill once again. Plus the dawning light. Next play, Evos down 2 here. Can Onic Philippines go ahead and end this game?
they're gonna try to.
They're going to try to end the game.
And they're pushing for it. Can they defend? Donut gonna get caught out here. Has to regen. Able to clear the minions for now.
Back out.
Next play, Evo still in the game.
Man, that is really close for next play Evos. They wanted to counter engage, but they weren't dealing the damage that they expected to deal. The sheer tankiness coming in from Onic Philippines already cashing in. Beloyski, Delarski, the Ski brothers just regenning everything in that fight. And there's one entry as well, Kyrie, who has been tanking a lot of damage and earning a lot of gold.
Man, NXP, now they're feeling like what they're really lacking. Strong burst magic damage.
Yeah.
And Onic has that in spades on Hatred. Again, Hatred is 4-0 and 8. Kyrie's deathless. Delarski's deathless. Beloyski expected, as usual, the highest death count this season. Has the most deaths in the game.
Team player,
In his
by
team.
the way.
He's a team player.
Yeah.
He does that for his team. That's what we're trying to say here, folks. Let's see if NXP will be able to turn it around, because the members of Onic right now are just way too tanky. If they can take down Hatred and Marky quickly, maybe.
The King is not even there, so they're actually gonna go ahead and secure this Lord here. Next play, Evo is confident in being able to actually defend this one.
Yep, and NXPE facing still a 7K goldie against Onic Philippines. We've seen bigger comebacks. We've seen 10K, 11, 12K. And NXPE, I just want to say that they're still in this game, but Onic Philippines, it feels like they finally found their stride. And they finally found MP.
Oh no, the King
Blue team
might be
turret.
okay here. He should be able to dash out just fine.
Okay, you know what? That was a little bit of a panic attack for me, considering that you were up against 3 people. But you know, when you're MP the King, you find that pathway, just like Ice Shield 21. This is how I dodge the bullies. This is how I just puncture through these heroes. And now, punctured away. And now the Lord will be marching down mid lane. The General leading his army of minions in top lane. Let's see how this ends.
This is gonna be a tough one here. Lord's gonna be taken out. Demonic Lord's being popped. Look at the blazing duo. The damage is too much here. Marky's taken out. They're gonna have to be careful. They're down a huge amount of damage. Next play, Evos still in this game.
My God, Cadenza with a game-saving Liquor Bloody Hunt once again. NXPE, they were already behind. That could have been the end game, but they found that 1 out of 14 million possibilities.
Onic needs to keep an eye out for the Phobius and for the Franco.
Yep.
Those are the 2 heroes, and maybe even the Claude. If you don't see them, if it's not obvious where they are, they're probably in a shrub or in a position behind you. Onic was just a little bit too careless there, and Cadenza made the most out of it. What a great play by the roamer of NXPE.
This is crazy. crazy, man. And now they're going to go ahead and assault. Finally, this tier 1 turret. But notice, too, MP the King doing quite a bit on the sides of the map.
Yep, and this is what Nxpe wants. Slowly and safely take control back on their side. At least right now, they could farm in their own jungle. They could get the items, but at some point in the game, at around 63, 65k, the items, everybody has their items already. And around 40 seconds from now, the next Lord will be spawning. It's already, let's say, end game in terms of items for everybody. So let's assess the heroes here. Who has the upper hand?
In terms of the upper hand right now, I'd still give it to Onic because of the ease of execution in their lineup now and the lead that they have, the amount of damage negation. But again, the only thing Nxpe needs is for Cadenza to catch that 1-1 or Cadenza to catch that Hatred.
Oh no, but Oreshi gets caught. Oreshi's going to get caught here. He does have the demonic force. He's going to be alive. Never mind. Deleted here by Hatred. Yoreshi goes down. This is a worse time to go because now the Lord comes up.
A bit of a head scratcher for me. I thought Oreshi did that because he had the Winter Trojan, but apparently he didn't.
Yep, and now it's going to be a free Lord for Onic Philippines after the death of Oreshi.
Yep.
Nxpe definitely a big blunder. They were already mounting a comeback until that forced error, considering that Onic Philippines just played their hearts out there, the sheer speed of Kyrie on this Baksha.
Man, I mean, again, Nexpelivos has good defense, but they don't want to keep doing that because at this point, what is this, the 4th Lord? So he's going to have some extra beefiness to him and extra ability as well, so they've got to defend.
I might jinx it here, but Onic, one of their problems this season is them ending games.
Oh no.
Oh no.
They need to be careful here. They need to watch out because if they get punished hard, NXPE could win this right away.
Let's see if they get punished as the Lord marches down mid lane. Dawning Light lands on 1.
Now Donut could be in trouble. He's going to pop the blazing 2 and he gets taken out. Monster kill. Look at Cadenza. But it's not enough to return. Here comes Demonic Force. The double kill going on Hatred, making it triple. Give the man the 1, 2, 3.
Give the man.
And he can't. But this is going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen.
And game number 2 going to the hands of Onic Philippines, and this is already a 1-1 with a massive 1-1 performance coming in from Marky.
Absolutely clutch. He got the crossbow of Tang off just in time with a sliver of health. A hit away. Marky said, please, let's go to game number 3 already. And he was able to survive. What a team performance there by Onic PH. They turn it around, and the clock is ticking, folks. What time is it? It's almost midnight.
It's almost midnight. It's almost day number 2 of MPL Philippines.
Day number 1.
Day number 1.5. You know, we are in a long time already here, considering that is a 1-1. Maximum 4 games already. So this is not a sweep. This is not similar to our first series of the game. This is a series where both teams could just win it all at any given time.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to, I'm not going to eat my words just yet, but that was a great 1-1 game, and I feel like it started with Xavier.
1-1 is undefeated today, nice.
Well,
Oh, no.
You know
When
what?
are you
That's
gonna
facts,
change
bro.
your opinion?
That's facts.
I'm not changing it yet. I'm
Just
not changing it. Unless we go to game 5.
Just facts.